goes.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Weird Science Comics YouTube channel, where I'm going to be going through a dark web tie-in, and I know that everybody's loving this dark web. Down at the Five and Dime, they're telling me greatest thing ever. This is Dark Web Mary Jane and Black Cat #1. I was looking forward to this not because it's a dark web tie-in, but because we get Black Cat written by Jed MacKay, which I'm a big fan of. Throw Mary Jane in there as a bonus. So I was slightly looking forward to this more than some of these other tie-ins or even the main book. But you know, an event's happening when Jed MacKay gets to write some Black Cat, even more so when he gets to do a Mary Jane and Black Cat team-up book. And I did like that last team-up in the Beyond story enough, but I was really wondering how MacKay would navigate the recent status quo changes with both of his leads here. I wonder if Zeb Wells actually told Jed MacKay anything about what's going on with Mary Jane, because he's pretty much told the regular readers of Amazing Spider-Man two things. Two things are Jack and Squat. We haven't learned anything. So I hope that he actually told Jed MacKay something, but we'll see. And in this, we do end up finding out some crazy twist with Mary Jane that I'm not so sure, it might not convolute things a little more, but at least it's fun. And that's what I'm looking for here. And I'm not talking about sentient objects trying to eat babies. You know, I don't need a stroller talking to eat a baby, and I really don't need Christmas trees yelling and screaming. I'm going to have actual things that are fun, not things that are supposed to be and just make my eyes roll. And we do get that a bit here. I do promise you have some fun going on in this issue, even with it being a dark web tie-in. But let's jump into this, and I'll let you know what that's all about. But before we do get to that, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, enable those notifications, and really tell me what you think of Dark Web Mary Jane and Black Cat #1 in the comments below, and tell me what you think of the Dark Web story in general. I'm sure that everybody's loving it. The rec center down there shooting hoops, so everybody's talking about it. It's all over town. Here are the credits. It's written by Jed MacKay, art by Vincenzo Caratu, colors by Brian Reber, letters by AC's Ariana Mayer. Here is a bit of a recap. We'll just read it, even though this is a #1. Mary Jane Watson's many talents and ambition have led her to success as an actor, executive, fashion model, and business owner. Now she's taking on a new role as a mom. So, of course, it stands to reason that her budding friendship with the world's greatest thief, Felicia Hardy, a.k.a. the Black Cat, will never, ever get in the way of that or complicate her life in the slightest. Two people who may complicate matters are Ben Reilly, the clone of Peter Parker, a.k.a. Spider-Man, and Madeline Pryor, the clone of Jean Grey, a.k.a. Marvel Girl, who have recently sworn revenge against those who have historically wronged them as Chasm and the Goblin Queen of Limbo. Naturally, their first targets are the good people of New York City. And is there that many good people in New York City? I'm from Philadelphia, and pretty much we go through our lives being jealous of people from New York. So I'm allowed to throw shade, right? Because I'm jealous. Doesn't that allow me to do that? I don't know. But here we go. And I'll tell you right now, I am sick of this whole sentient objects trying to eat people thing. I already said it. It wasn't funny the first time we saw it, and it certainly isn't funny the 1,000th time we've seen it. We can still have fun here, though, with Felicia and Mary Jane, right? Sure. The problem here is that Jed MacKay has to spend a lot of time recapping Zeb Wells' nonsense since these two last teamed up. Felicia is afraid to spill the beans about her and Peter, even though nothing really has happened between the two. But Mary Jane, she's gone through a crazy transformation. I'm not just talking about her new family, because this issue throws a big twist in here. Mary Jane has powers. And though it's not fully spelled out, it looks like the joke here is that her famous jackpot line is now a power. It certainly mixes things up, and while I'm not sure everybody is going to love it, it might be a lot of fun, especially having Black Cat and the kind of luck she usually brings to the table. But seriously, by the end of this whole run, the story here, if Mary Jane doesn't end up turning into a tiger and says, you hit the jackpot, now I'm a tiger, somebody's messed up. Somebody's done messed up, but I do think we will end up having that, which also goes well with that as a team up with Black Cat as well. So you get the cat thing, a cat theme. And so you go through this issue, and Jed MacKay does a decent job giving readers a fun little romp. And again, through this, you end up having Felicia kind of a little nervous that she's going to end up spilling the beans, maybe saying something wrong about her and Peter, even though it would be tough luck for Mary Jane. She seems to have moved on. She has a family, all of that. And even in this, you get some fun little callbacks and things like that, where even Felicia calls up Tony Stark, who we ended up having the stuff in the Iron Cat book. Well, she ends up having his number, calls up, and it's funny because she says, hey, I need your help. And Tony's like, why would I help you? I mean, really, Felicia has caused him a lot of problems. And he says, why would I help you? And, oh, no, it's Mary Jane that needs help. And boom, he doesn't even bat an eye. Okay, well, tell me where to go, whatnot, and sends drones to protect Mary Jane's new family. And I like that. I like seeing how important Mary Jane is to a lot of the other characters in the MCU, as important as she is to everybody, but it seems Zeb Wells, right? You know what I'm saying here? But in this, there is some fun, and you end up having Black Cat and Mary Jane swinging through the streets of New York City. They're kicking sentient objects' asses, right? Until they end up in limbo. And by the end of the issue, Mary Jane ends up being a pudding monster. You'll have to see that to believe it. And they do end up face to face with a bad guy. I won't reveal who it is, but I'm not sure that everybody or anybody would be that crazed about it anyway. But I don't know. The whole thing, when I see this and being in limbo and seeing some magic stuff being thrown about, I'm wondering if Jed MacKay might use this story to also fix some things with Black Fox, so that if we would continue later on in another volume of Black Cat, that we'll get him back as well. And that would make this a tie-in that would be a little more important overall to Black Cat fans, I think. So I'm hoping that goes on here as well. And that would be pretty cool. But really, this is just, again, a nice little issue to have Jed MacKay doing Black Cat and Mary Jane, to a little lesser degree, but having the team up. Just nice to have it going on again. And while it wasn't a great issue, it was pretty good as far as these dark web stories and tie-ins have gone so far. I think it's one of the better ones so far. So if you are looking to, check things out, you might actually even want to jump into this, even if you're not reading everything dark web. I'm trying to I'm squirming a little because I don't know that I'd recommend it just because this dark web's nonsense. But I'll tell you, just me personally, if I ended up dropping all the dark web stuff, personally, I'd still continue reading this because of maybe finding out some things about Mary Jane, which I'm interested in, but also getting the Jed MacKay doing Black Cat. And the art's really good. I like the art and all of that. But again, this is all about having fun, all about MacKay writing Black Cat again, and I'm all for that. So I'm going to give this one a 7.5 out of 10. I still am not liking this dark web story at all, but I'll go through these things, and with these tie-ins that keep popping up, and we have a lot this week, I'm going to just go and individually, okay, this one's pretty good. Hey, this, and we'll see. Maybe we can get, a couple of these that we'll enjoy. But I hope that everybody enjoyed the video here. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, enable those notifications, and please let me know what you think of this whole deal, dark web in general, but in particular, the dark web Mary Jane and Black Cat #1. And with all of that, I will talk to you all later.
Go read comics.
You are all weirdos.
Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution. Weird science is the revolution.